모두 화이팅 3, 2, 1 바닥에 저려 bounce Get up, stand up 다 일어나 Let go on
Everybody looking at me 그냥 부딪혀봐 비약치 볼륨을 올려 지금 내게 보는 highlight Let go, let go, let go 소리 질러 더 높이 걸음걸이마저 신이 나 speed 볼륨을 올려 지금 내게 보는 highlight Let go, let go, let go, let go
Sometimes life is like a dream Mic check 1, 2, 3 down Everybody set go 새로 sneakers 신고 lace up 찍어봐 내 cut
Who we are Jack Rock Look at my style No right 위로 덩어리 나를 오르고 너 rocket 세게 내렸고 자동이
Get up, stand up 다 일어나 Get up, stand up 다 일어나 Let go on
Everybody looking at me 그냥 부딪혀봐 흥이 하루치 볼륨을 올려 지금 내게 보는 highlight Let go, let go, let go
소리 질러 더 높이 걸음걸이마저 신이 나 speed
볼륨을 올려 지금 내게 보는 highlight Let go, let go, let go, let go
괜찮아 누가 뭐라 하던 change it 비틀고 뒤집어 반전을 만들지
힘들고 뒤집어 반전에 반전이
내 세상 나만이 가는 길에 Everybody looking at me 그냥 부딪혀봐 비하고 cheese 볼륨을 올려 지금 내게 보는 highlight
Let go, let go, let go 소리 질러 더 높이 걸음걸이마저 신이 나 볼륨을 올려 지금 내게 보는 highlight Let go, let go, let go, let go Yeah Yeah, I told you I'm no limit
This is Simply K-pop Gateway to Korea, and it's already time to say goodbye. Everyone, did you enjoy the show today? 재밌으셨나요?
Thanks to all of your support and cheers. We also enjoyed and had a great time today. So thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll be back with even greater K-pop stages, so tune in next time.
Your gateway to Korea, simply K-pop.
Goodbye, everyone. Bye.
Bye bye.
Welcome to K-Culture Dive, where we dive deeper into the heart of Korean culture with K-entertainment issues, AI culture news, and our K-culture issues segment, where we'll be joined by our movie expert. And I'm your host, Kwon So-ah. Let's dive in. Joining us on the show today is my co-host Bella Kim. Hello, Bella.
Hi, Soa. Happy Friday, Soa.
Happy Friday.
And happy Friday to everyone joining us today on K-Culture Dive. I'm Bella, filling in for Walter today to co-host and report on some exciting K-entertainment news, especially focused on K-pop today.
Okay, so let's start with K-Enter News. And our first story, Bella, we're going to start off with details on the big BTS concert.
That's correct. Excitement is building for BTS's highly anticipated comeback performance in March at Gwanghwamun Square in Seoul. The group will hold BTS Comeback Live Arirang on March 21st at 8 p.m. Korean time, marking their first full group performance in about 3 years and 9 months. The golden tickets that all BTS fans want are the roughly 2,000 standing seats with the best view. Now the question is, so when and how can the fans get their hands on these tickets? The tickets will first be opened for official fan club members, ARMYs, with an exclusive entry event for the standing seats. Then the general ticket reservations will begin on February 23rd at 8 p.m. Korean time. And due to limited seats at the venue, the competition is expected to be super intense. BTS Comeback Live Arirang celebrates the release of BTS's 5th full-length album, Arirang, and the group will perform their new songs for the very first time. A global live stream is also planned on Netflix, allowing international fans to enjoy the show. The hype is higher than ever as hotels near Gwanghwamun are already fully booked, including the highly priced rooms, as fans from all around the world prepare to attend the concert.
It's gonna be one of the events of the year.
Definitely.
But Bella, you mentioned that we're gonna have a K-pop filled K-Enter segment today.
Right.
So this time it's about a girl group.
That's right. We are going to talk about TWICE now. TWICE have reached a new milestone with their hit song, What Is Love? The music video for the song has surpassed 900 million views on YouTube, becoming the group's first video to hit the 9 million mark. What Is Love, a title track from TWICE's 5th mini album released in 2018, explores the curiosity and excitement of love. And this song captured the hearts of so many listeners with its bright, cheerful, and refreshing energy. The music video has been praised for its creative concept as the members transformed into characters from famous films. So this playful parody format added to its global appeal and has continued to attract views. TWICE currently have 25 music videos with at least 100 million views on YouTube, showing their global popularity. The group is currently on their world tour. This is for across over 43 locations around the world.
TWICE songs always cheer me up.
Definitely.
And last but not least, another girl group we have to talk about.
We're going to talk about IVE now. Anticipation is building for IVE's next album with the pre-release track Bang Bang. Ahead of their second full-length album's official launch, the group revealed Bang Bang as a preview of the upcoming title track and overall concept. The song is built on a powerful beat and addictive melody with the message of bold confidence. Immediately after its release, the track and the music video for it sparked explosive reactions, with many predicting another major hit. The excitement built for IVE's new album, focusing on what new records and achievements the group will set next.
Well, can't wait to hear the rest of the album. And thank you very much, Bella, for those updates.
Yes, I'll stick around.
And time now to go over to our AI anchor Arirang for more on the culture front. Arirang.
Thanks, Swa. Here's your AI guide to the latest cultural headlines from Korea. Let's begin with our top story. More visitors are expected to travel to Korea's southern resort island of Jeju during this year's Lunar New Year holiday compared with last year. The Jeju Tourism Association forecasts that more than 245,000 people will visit the island over the 6-day period from February 13 to February 18, an increase of 6% from last year. Of these, around 215,500 tourists are expected to arrive by air, and 29,500 by sea. The association noted that arrivals were lower than usual last year due to unfavorable weather, but it expects an increase in foreign tourists this year, particularly from China, thanks to the extended Chinese New Year holiday. To accommodate a surge of Chinese tourists during the extended Chinese New Year holiday, the government is rolling out targeted tourism initiatives. The Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism and the Korea Tourism Organization have partnered with Chinese platforms and online travel agencies to promote tourism packages, with transport discounts and K-culture travel products. A wide range of hospitality programs and special events are also planned to welcome tourists from China. From February 15 to February 23rd, up to 190,000 Chinese visitors are expected to enter Korea, a 44% increase from last year's daily average. The Seoul Plaza Ice Rink, which closed its 2025-26 winter season on Sunday, welcomed over 180,700 visitors. According to the Seoul city government, the rink averaged about 3,500 visitors per day, a 6% increase from last year. Foreign visitors surged sharply, rising from 38,100 last year to 49,700 this year, making up roughly 1 in 3 visitors. The rise is attributed to the Seoul city's promotion efforts through tourism programs and various events, including a marketplace and appearances by notable figures such as figure skater Cha Jun-hwan. The Seoul Plaza Ice Rink is scheduled to reopen on December 18th. That's all from me. Turning now to a quick look at more K-culture stories making headlines today.
South Korea's PC rooms are evolving into major tourist attractions, with top Korean League of Legends league teams opening their own branded spaces. Fans from around the world are flocking to these new holy grounds. Our Jung Hae-rim takes us there.
At first glance, this PC room in Dongdaemun-gu looks like just another typical internet cafe found on every corner in Seoul. However, take a closer look and you'll see the logos of Gen.G, a premier team in the LCK, Korea's domestic League of Legends league, displayed throughout. Here at GGX, Gen.G's team-operated PC room, visitors can experience not only high-quality gaming environments, but also get a chance to display their love for esports. Visitors can order Korean specialties labeled as the team players' favorite foods directly from their seats. Another noticeable feature is a fan store stocked with goods from uniforms to league merchandise that fans just cannot ignore.
I visited because it was the player Duro's birthday on February 4th, and I heard there was a special promotion at the store.
But the experience goes beyond shopping and snacking. On match days, this space transforms into a mini stadium. Fans gather for viewing parties to watch live games on a giant screen, cheering together for every kill and victory.
So you have like a restaurant, you have a committee zone when you can watch party. When you're a fan of this sport, Gen.G is such a good institution, so you got to respect that.
For games and esports lovers, not only from Korea, but around the world, PC rooms are turning into tourist spots.
Over in Hongdae, a surge of tourists can be seen flocking to T1 base camp. Home to T1, the league's most popular team, led by the legendary Faker, the entire venue is dedicated to the players, with large screens along with a red and white interior. Fans can even customize their own team jerseys on site.
This atmosphere of T1 fans around, and it's kind of cool to see all this merchandise and all these kind of collectibles, and I kind of wanted to come here and check it out myself and spend a little bit of time while I'm visiting Korea to have this experience.
Fans of T1 visit a lot. It feels like people from all around the world come to Hongdae.
As the global fan base for Korean esports continues to explode, these venues are cementing their status as a must-visit tourist destinations. Jung Hae-rim, Arirang News.
When winter arrives in Korea, a few things immediately come to mind. Bungeoppang, hotdog, roasted sweet potatoes, and fish cakes. These beloved snacks have been warming the hands and hearts of Koreans for generations. Hot, sweet, crispy, perfect to hold as you stroll through chilly streets. It's no wonder people return for them year after year. And today, these classic treats are getting a colorful makeover, adding new flavors and surprising twists. Bungeoppang isn't just about red bean anymore. Custard, kimchi, and even pizza fillings are making waves. Fish cakes pack Korea's signature spicy kick to heat up the winter. Roasted sweet potatoes come rich with cheese or sweet like brulee. Hotdog can be bursting with seeds or stuffed with sausages for a hearty bite. The flavors may have evolved, but the feeling remains the same. That comforting, warm bite that melts away the cold and lifts frozen spirits. Before winter slips away, why not indulge in Korea's iconic winter street snacks and taste the warmth for yourself?
The Berlin International Film Festival is underway, drawing global attention as one of the world's top 3 film festivals. Several Korean films have been invited to Berlin. Now, back home, a wide range of Korean releases are gearing up for the Lunar New Year box office. Joining us today is Jae-soo, filmmaker and professor at Seoul Institute of the Arts, to discuss Korean films in the spotlight in Berlin and what's ahead for the holiday cinema season. Welcome back, Professor Soo.
Hello, Professor.
All right, so now let's start with the Berlin International Film Festival, or Berlinale, which is in its 76th edition. So it's often described as having a different character from other major international film festivals, such as Cannes or Venice. So what would you say distinguishes Berlin from those other events?
As you mentioned, the 3 festivals are the biggest in Europe. And what distinguishes itself is, first of all, it's kind of, I would say it happens in the winter, so it's February. It starts today and until the 22nd. Also, it's like the most publicly accessible film festival. So there's a lot of screenings in downtown Berlin, in small art venues, things like that. Also, it's a very highly political sort of atmosphere. It could be about racism or about the war in Gaza, things like that. And also, it's got the biggest attendance. They usually have over 300,000 people come to the festival. And I think if you go to Cannes, everybody's wearing, you know, tuxedos and dresses. It's all about like the red carpet. And also, Venice is one of the oldest film festivals, and it's really like, you know, about the awards, and sort of Hollywood greats come to see it. So Berlinale is probably the most publicly accessible, and then I think cinema lovers, you know, really like to go, and a lot of people could have access to watching a lot of the movies. So that's the difference.
Right, and as you said, it happens in winter, so also season-wise, very different because it's much warmer during Cannes and Venice, because those happen in May and September, if I'm correct.
Yes.
So I guess the season itself also brings another different atmosphere as well.
And at this year's festival, Korean films have been invited to several sections of the festival. So which titles are they, and do you see any kind of particular interest or trends you're seeing this year at the festival?
The Berlin Festival always sort of showcased a lot of Korean cinema. So this year, the movies I want to talk about is there's a movie called My Name, directed by Jung Ji-young. He's like one of the great filmmakers in Korean cinema. You know, he made a movie about the Jeju massacre during the Korean War, and this movie was basically a grand prize winner at the Jeju 4.3 Peace Foundation Screenplay Award. So it won the big award, and a lot of crowdfunding. So a lot of the people of Jeju wanted this movie made. So he's debuting his movie over there. Also, there are, a movie by a short filmmaker named Oh Ji-in, a recent graduate of Columbia University. He's Korean, and has a movie called Speedy, a short film. And there's also sort of another Korean film that's coming out. And of course, I have to mention Hong Sang-soo, basically his 34th film that he's making. And he's a darling of the Berlinale because he's won the Silver Bear and things like that before. So
Right.
he's returning as well.
Let's get into the details of the darling of the Berlinale, director Hong Sang-soo. So he's been invited for the 7th consecutive time this year, and his latest film, The Day She Returns, has been selected for the Panorama section. So what kind of film is this, and what aspects do you think Berlin found especially compelling about this?
Well, there's almost a joke that the Berlin Festival is Hong Sang-soo's festival because they show his movies all the time there. This movie is about, it stars Song Seon-mi, Cho Yoon-hee, and Park So-mi, and Kang So-hee. So it's about an actress who kind of retired, and then she decides to come back to acting after her marriage and all that stuff. So he kind of based the story around those kinds of things, and it's built into 3 sections where she does like interviews about her life, her career, things like that. So like in Hong Sang-soo's style, shot in black and white, he makes 1 movie every year. So he chooses subject matter as, I would say, very down to earth about things in everyday life. And one of the characteristics of his movies is that he always manages to cast really famous actors, and he doesn't pay them because his budget is so low. And they're sort of like, the reason why they do it is because he goes to these festivals, and you know, Kim Min-hee, who he's dating, it was an actress that won the Best Actress Award at Berlin. So I think for a lot of actors, they really want to be in his movies because it's an opportunity to walk the red carpet. He's a darling of sort of Europe, you know, all the European cinema lovers. So, but in some ways, I'm admiring him because he makes movies so often, but it's also, he makes so many that a lot of normal audience members don't really go see it. So that's the unfortunate part of that.
So it's for the actors and actresses, it's more of the honor than you know, the money when it comes to his movies.
Yeah, I mean his budgets are so low that I think if he paid them their normal fee, it'd be 10 times the budget of the movie, things like that. So it's more of like an honor to be in Hong Sang-soo movie. And believe me, it's not just Korean actors. We had Isabelle Huppert. So, world-class actors that I'm just thinking they must love him so much that they didn't need to get paid, so.
Right, and what's also notable this year is actress Bae Doona is serving as a jury member in the main competition section. So that's following actress Lee Young-ae and also director Bong Joon-ho. So she will be the 3rd Korean film figure to take this role, Korean figure. So what do you think is the significance in her participation this year at the festival?
Well, like you said, we've had Korean, actors and directors sort of be the jury member. Now it's like in vogue to do that. But I think Bae Doona is really special because she's not just like a Korean, like sort of, I guess, actress, but she's been in with the Wachowski brothers. She's been in Sense8. She was also in Cloud Atlas and Jupiter Ascend. These are all Wachowski movies. And also she's worked with Koreda, Hirokazu on the movie recently as well. So she's somebody that I think spans like international cinema. She basically comes out in Japanese cinema, French cinema. I've seen her in a lot of movies, so I think for her, it's sort of like, it's par for course as a sort of a, I guess, a world-renowned filmmaker herself in a way. She also produces things like that. So I think having her is not just symbolic for Korea, but just for cinema lovers, itself, they're really sort of honored to have her do that, yeah.
All right, now Professor So, let's move from Germany to Korea, and we are just ahead of the Lunar New Year holidays, and people are going to go to the movies. Let's hope so, that many are going to go to the actual theaters to watch movies with their family members. So yeah, we have historical dramas, action movies, and so-called healing films in Korea. You would say maybe feel-good films. So which titles will the audiences be watching during this holiday?
It's kind of a strange way the movies are happening now because there's so few being made. But in this year's, I think, the New Year's movies, there's basically a 3-way clash with films of like a vastly different scales. So one is a action blockbuster, the one you're talking about, Human Intelligence. I went to see that yesterday, by the way, so it was really good. And King's Warden, which is like I would say it's not that cheap. It's about $7 million, but it's a historical drama based on sort of a banished king, him trying to sort of like deal with the people that he's with, temporarily. Also, there's a movie called, a smaller scale family fantasy movie called Number One. It's based on a Japanese short story. And it's about a son and a mother. And basically, in the story, he wants to eat food prepared by his mother, but at a certain number of meals, she will die. So, and then we have in the cast, basically two people that were Choi Woo-sik and Jang Hae-jin, who are basically, you saw them in Parasite. So I think world audiences will be interested in watching this film. I think when you said healing, this is the movie that I think you're talking about. So it's an interesting mix because you have on one hand like a blockbuster movie with Roo Seung-wan directing, with Cho In-sung and Park Jung-min, who's a hot actor. And then you have like a historical drama, really well made by Jang Han-jun. This director actually went to Seoul Arts. And then the third one is the sort of the low budget. It's about $2.8 million its budget. So it's small, but it doesn't really take that much to break even with a movie of that production scale. So I hope people flock to the cinemas to watch this, and I think they will.
Okay, let's hope so. And out of those three movies you've mentioned, we want to talk about Human, which is a movie that I'm actually looking very forward to, and perhaps maybe if I can go watch it in the theater. So I want to ask you, how did you like it? Because you said you watched it yesterday. So how did you like the film? And what kind of film is it? And what was most interesting about it? Tell us.
Well, it's kind of interesting because Roo Seung-wan, the director, already made a movie, like a spy espionage movie called Berlin, which was also a big hit at the time. That one had Ha Jung-woo and Chun Ji-yeon, like big stars. This one is also star-studded. It has, as I mentioned, Cho In-sung. You also have Park Jung-min, then you have Shin Se-kyung. So, and I want to mention sort of the bad guy in the movie, which is Park Hae-jun, also another good actor. What I really liked about it was that it's the classic kind of spy love movie where I would say, Hitchcock's Notorious, or a James Bond movie called From Russia with Love. So it's a movie about sort of like South and North Korean spies sort of battling it out in Russia, Vladivostok. And in there's like a Russian mob. So it's a very kind of fun movie to watch, a lot of really great action, but then you have the love story in there. And I watched it with this sort of female audience member next to me, and whenever Park Jung-min would come out on the screen, he played a North Korean spy. I could tell her breathing started to change. She was very excited to hear about, him. And after the movie, we were in the elevator together, and I didn't know this lady, but I said, "Did you like the movie?" She was a little surprised. But I said, "Wasn't Park Jung-min great?" And she was like, "Oh my God, that's the reason I came to see the movie." So I think director, Roo Seung-wan really hit it on the nail, basically. He knows that with Park Jung-min's recent sort of, with Hwasa, the music video, things like that, that his value went up a little bit. And I think in this movie, they really took advantage of that.
Good timing for Park.
Yes.
Now, Professor Su, traditionally, major holidays have been seeing many new releases at the same time. Do you think this is an effective marketing strategy? But I was actually very surprised when we talked about the three movies that you introduced. They are all very different when it comes to the genre, as if they even, discussed together to release this on this day. Probably that's not the case. But do you think this is a good strategy?
I think it's a great strategy because, we talked about how Korean cinema is suffering, and sometimes I felt like, you can talk about what COVID did and what Netflix is doing and all this, but we just have to make better stories and better movies. And so I think the three movies being of a different scale, one is a big blockbuster. So it kind of harkens back to original Korean cinema. I would think of movies like Shiri back in the day that beat Titanic in Korea. So you have that. So for the audiences that are crazy about that sort of genre, they're in there. Also a historical movie that's really well made by Jang Han-jun. That's a story that I think a lot of people would feel universally attracted to. And then the third film, which is about family. And I think that's the one that I think is going to be the sleeper hit. So I think in a way, it's a really good strategy to do three different budgets, three types of movies that are really not in competition with each other. So I think the audience members will probably have a good time. And a lot of times when you go see a movie theater, it's like some people stay, they watch the movie, they go eat, and then they're like, hey, should we watch this one as well? So you can stay to watch the other movies as well.
Right.
Hopefully, yeah. And I think it's a good season because not much competition from Hollywood movies right now. Yeah.
Well, I already did my ticket reservation for 왕과 사는 남자, The King's Warden. Bella, are you going to watch Humans?
Yes, that's my plan for now, but haven't made the reservation yet, but it's #1 in the box office right now.
Okay.
So probably gonna go hit the theaters.
And
Yeah.
Professor So, another movie during the holidays that you're going to watch?
I'm going to watch #1.
Okay,
I
then.
haven't watched it yet, but
Okay, we've got a
I like
variety.
the cast members, and I'm kind of into that story. So, and to me, I think the way to succeed in Korean cinema is like, you have to make low-budget movies, genre movies that doesn't cost that much, and it'll have the returns in the box office. And also, you get more imaginative when you don't have a lot of money. That's my experience from making movies myself. Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we're going to talk about those movies in a couple of weeks. And thank you very much, Professor So, for your insights today. And happy Seol.
Yes,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Lunar New Year. And thank you, Bella, as always. We're going to see you next week.
Yes, I'll see you back next week.
All right. Thanks for watching and your interest in everything K-Culture. K-Culture Dive will be back after the Lunar New Year holiday next Thursday, 2 p.m. Korea time. See you then, and keep diving.
How to survive in Korea. Barbecue restaurants. Step 1. Taking care of your clothes. Put your jacket in the plastic bag. Seal it tight. If the stool flips open, store your clothes inside. Wearing light colors, grab an apron.